studying English for a few hours a week may not improve your spoken English very much. Leo Messi became a wonderful football player because he spent hours every day for many years practicing by himself. You can do the same with your English. You don't have to go anywhere to become a fluent English speaker. You only need to surround yourself with English. When you study, don't just listen. Speak out loud the material you are listening to and practice what you hear. Practice speaking out loud until your mouth and brain can do it without effort. By doing so, you will be able to speak English fluently. Practice speaking English whenever you can. If you live in an English-speaking country, then this is easier. But if not, then you can talk to visitors. Don't be shy and don't worry about making mistakes. When you speak English, you don't need to know any rules. The best way to learn to speak English is to memorize. First, you have a sentence that is correct. Listen to the sentence. Repeat the sentence over and over again until it becomes a part of you. Just listen, relax and enjoy it. Listen to several times each day for at least a week. Your goal is to understand 100% instantly and automatically. You will learn each lesson very well. You will relax, go slowly and learn to speak English easily and automatically. Listen at least 1 hour every day. 2 hours every day is best. You might listen 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes going to work, 30 minutes during lunch, 30 minutes going home and 30 minutes before going to sleep. In fact, this is an excellent way to learn. You need to practice all the time. Listen, read, write and speak whenever you have the chance. This is also so important. If you want to learn the language, you must use it. English is growing in your brain and improving every day. Just keep doing it and let it becomes a natural part of your daily life. You must listen to understandable English. You must listen to English every day. Don't read textbook. Listen to English. It's simple. You need to slow down and repeat everything you learn again and again. You want to learn everything very deeply, so that you really learn it, so that you never forget it. That is deep learning. If you have an audio article, something you are listening to and you like it, don't just listen one time. One time is not enough. 5 times is not enough. You should listen to it 30 times, 50 times, 100 times or more. If the lessons seem difficult, just relax. You can listen to one lesson set for 4 weeks or 10 weeks if necessary. Don't worry about doing a lot of lesson set. This is not important. Relax and focus on understanding. Go slowly and you will improve a lot. Excellent English grammar is important because you will quickly understand what people are saying. You will quickly find the correct form of what you want to say. You can concentrate on pronunciation and fluency. You will feel confident. Don't be scared about making a mistake. If you are scared, you will never speak fluently. It doesn't have to be perfect when you are learning. Speaking and making a mistake is better than not speaking. English is difficult, but I am going to keep trying. I am sure I will get it soon. Don't waste time studying grammar or vocabulary. Don't waste time trying to speak. You should spend all of your time either listening or reading. To be fluent in only 2 to 3 months, you must create massive intensity. In other words, you have to listen and read 8 to 14 hours a day. Every day. At the beginning you don't understand completely what's going on. But you are interested. As time goes on, you start to interact with people. You become more comfortable. You don't know everything in your native language. So why do you think you need to know everything in English? Try to focus on the positive. Instead of think about the things you don't know or didn't understand. When you know 1,000 phrases, you will be able to speak like a native English speaker. Read more, learn more. If you learn a lot, you will know more and more topics. If you know more and new information, you will have more to talk about. Have a notebook and list down the words. This is really effective. You can remember the word after knowing its definition. Saying it out loud and writing it down. Practice builds accuracy. Accuracy builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency. Just express yourself. Speak up and say what you feel. Think in English. This is the great way to improve your spoken English. And you can do it anywhere, anytime. At home you can talk to yourself while doing everyday tasks. If you are on the train, then describe the people around you. And when you go to sleep, go over the day's events in English. Try to find someone to speak English with. It will become more natural for you. And you will start to feel less nervous when you have to speak English. Practice with an article written in your mother tongue. When you practice this technique, please keep in mind that you are not translating the article from your mother tongue to English. You need to force yourself to use all the words you know to express what's in the article. The power of this technique is that you don't need to worry about what to say. You don't need a real person in front of you in order to practice this method. Every day after practicing your reading and listening skills, you need to spend time writing down anything you can remember. As you write, you will have to recall what you have read and listened to. You will have to pick up words and arrange them in a proper way to build sentences. In the beginning, you will likely make a lot of mistakes. You need to accept making a mistake and go ahead as far as you can remember. Don't go for perfection. While you are writing, don't worry about logic, just try to write as much as possible. If you spend 20 minutes writing, you have a chance to retain 80% of what you have learned. Although speaking out loud when studying a foreign language is recommended by many textbooks and teachers, it is often overlooked by learners. One of the biggest reasons why a language learner cannot speak fluently is that he doesn't practice speaking. Another reason why learners are reluctant to speak is they are afraid of making mistakes. They don't know where to start, who to talk to, and what to talk about. How many words do you need in order to speak well? In order to express your idea, you don't need to know a lot of different words. You need to know a certain number of words in order to speak fluently. Most of people believe that they need someone in front of them to practice speaking. That is why few learners practice themselves at home. When you practice yourself, you are under no pressure. You can fully control the content and topic. Try to speak loudly and don't worry about pronunciation. Listen to the first sentence, then imitate exactly what the speaker said. At this step, you don't need to understand the meaning. Just try to repeat out loud what you can hear. Look up your transcript to check the words. Listen to the sentence again, repeat it out loud, and at the same time visualize the meaning. You need to imitate the sound you hear, not read the transcript. Listen to the whole paragraph without looking at the transcript, while visualize the meaning. You need the right attitude to improve your English. Look for every opportunity to practice speaking. Remember, every mistake is an opportunity to learn. So don't be afraid of making mistake. You know my last name is Bowie. It starts with the letter B and then, I just adopt the name Beta, because in software, when they update different versions, there's always a better version. I liked that and I adopted that for myself, because I want to remind myself and other people in my company that whatever you do, it would be not 100% there. We can always try to improve ourselves a little bit more and more. That's why I like it. I think Harvard is full of people with a lot of big dreams, a lot of inspirations. And I got inspired just by being with them. I love my time there and I never regret choosing to go there. Since the topic of the talk today is a little bit about scholarship, can you tell us your journey toward that scholarship? It started when I finished high school in Hanoi. I went to Hanoi, Amsterdam. And then when I finished, I wanted to go overseas to study. My mom actually helped me to find out information about a scholarship program. I didn't know a lot about the process of applying for a scholarship back then. But I talked to my English teachers and they helped me to go through every step. I was very lucky because I got that scholarship and it did open many doors for the next step of my career. I finished university in Australia. I came to Singapore to work for 2 years, came back to Vietnam, started my own business. After 2 years, I decided that it's time for me to go overseas again. And then I applied for the Fulbright scholarship. Very luckily, I got it. Actually, I didn't get it the first time. I don't know why, but they rejected my application the first time, but it's all right. We can always try again. So I try again next year and I got the Fulbright scholarship. I was also got into Harvard and it's my dream school. So I think I worked really hard for it. But there's also an element of luck. I'm lucky that I've been through that journey, and being here today with you and share about my experience. Tell me a little about the application process. Because we do know that the scholarship application process is extremely tedious and extremely odious. I think the first time I applied for Fulbright, I didn't get it because I didn't prepare for it carefully enough. So I seriously think that once you want something really badly, you have to put your soul and mind into it. And really work hard to get it. The Fulbright application, you have to do a lot of things. You have to prepare your resume. You have to write essay. You have to get recommendation letter. You have to take the English test. You have to pull all those information together, and they have to be coherent, they have to be consistent. You have to really think about the different components and really present them together. Reflect who you are, what are your dream and inspiration. What do you tend to do not only during the program but also when to get back to Vietnam? My experience is that if you don't really focus on it and make it really interesting and strong enough, you will not get it, because there are so many people competing for a limited number of scholarships. I think I became calmer and more compassionate with other people around me. And also with myself. I think I used to put a lot of pressure on myself to able to achieve a lot of things and set very high standard for myself. I would be angry at myself if I didn't get something done properly enough. As I grow older, I see life more as a journey, not as a destination. I enjoy everything that I do. And not stressing so much about, what can I do? I think it's really important to enjoy the process. Even studying for the IELTS or studying for English. A lot of time can be very frustrating because we're not at the place where we want to be, we aim to be. It's funny that you mention that. Because I think about the time that I spent to learn IELTS before I went to Australia. When I got the scholarship to go to Australia, I think my IELTS was only 4.5. I took the test and it was 4.5 and I had to get the 6.5 in 6 months to go to Australia. I think the first 3 or 4 months. I was really stressed out. I think my English teacher really helped me out by telling me that you should enjoy the process. I tried not to be too stressful about it. And I spent more time watching sitcoms, television show in English. And I enjoyed it. Just a difficult question. I was the MC since I was a student in high school. And then continue. I was interested in this job. And suddenly, the opportunity to be a lecturer came to me in 2006. I found the opportunity and I applied for this. Fortunately, I was chosen to be a lecturer. Do you like being an MC better or a lecturer better? I think it depends on the moment. At this moment, I prefer to be an MC, but tomorrow, a lecturer. I love the two jobs 50-50. They all give me a lot of opportunities to improve and to communicate with a lot of people and to have good reputation. Love from the other people, from the students, from the audience. When I was young, I wanted to be a teacher. Because every day you go to school, you look at the teacher. And then I admired them. I wished there's a day I would stand there. I think the most important thing for me for the job right now is every day I can communicate with students. So I feel young. The most important thing is what you give the students. How you give them the knowledge and the skill. The first time I took the IELTS was in 2011, after I graduated from university. At that point of time, I got an 8. I was pretty satisfied. But then there was a part of me knew that I could do better. So after 4 years of working, I started feeling a little curious about whether I have got better. So last year, in December, I decided to retake it. I took it and I was lucky enough. I got a 9. Honestly speaking, I didn't prepare for the test too much before the second time I took the test. I didn't go to any preparation class. One only took a few practice tests on my own. I think the key to learn any language is creating an environment where you can practice it as frequently as you can. That's exactly what I tried to do. I think a lot of audiences probably would want to hear from you. When did you start believing that you're very good at English? Never, even right now. I don't think that I'm good at English. Sometimes I feel I cannot convey myself precisely, and I think learning is a process, not a destination. I believe that education is key. It opens the windows of opportunities to a lot of places that you want to go, lots of things that you want to do. So keep studying. Don't drop out of school. For me, the message that I take away from this book is, live while you can. If you want to do something, do it right now. Time's not gonna wait for you. You don't have your whole life to waste. I love to give. To transfer my passion to other people. This is something that is very close to my heart. This is one of the very first English book that I read. And I hope you will enjoy it. Let me say this, actually in real life. I've learnt 3 languages: English, Korean and Chinese, so the other 4 languages I just imitate their pronunciation. The way the native speakers speak. I just want to bring fun to people. You mentioned something that I think a lot of audiences would love to hear, is that when you learn a language, it's not just about the grammar. It's not just about the writing. But it's also about how you speak the language, and the more you can sound like a native speaker and speak fluently. I remember one quote by Nelson Mandela is that if you speak to a man in a language that he understands, that goes to his head, but if you speak to him in his language, that goes to his heart. You mentioned Nelson Mandela. Actually, I had a chance to meet Nelson Mandela when I was 8 years old, and I remember one thing he wished back in the day. He said that, you can be whatever you want, but make sure that you're able to tell people what you think. What do you love to do in your free time? In my free time, I have a lot of favorite things to do. Actually, I had an opportunity to work in Nagi and television. And that is how I love being an MC, hosting on the stage, standing in front of the camera. Have you ever been given a nickname that you don't like but it's so true to you? I have been. All of my friends call me a nerd. People see me as a 4-eye monster who always wears uniform. Study day and night. Actually, I don't mind that anymore. I really love studying, and my favorite subject is English. Every language has its own charisma. French is polite. Spanish is sexy. And Korean is cute. And English, from my perspective, English is fun. Therefore, every time when I learn English, I feel the joy it brings to me. That is the exact motivation that I need to fulfill my 5-page English homework every day. Loving it so much, I have participated in several English-speaking contests. I was over the moon to hearing the result. If I can do it, you can do it too. Finding joy in English is easy. Whether you're into something romantic or something humorous. There are a lot of books and films to choose from. Fiction is not an exception. If you're like me, a true fan of Harry Potter, you can still enjoy the movie while learning the subject. And eventually, someday, you may realize that English has already played an indispensable role in your life. Today I'm going to describe about a television program that I have watched. It is 8 IELTS. It is the first educational IELTS show in Vietnam. This is not really a teaching show. It's a combination between teaching and playing. This will help and inspire Vietnamese people to study English. I found 8 IELTS really enjoyable, interesting, and useful. It inspires me, makes me full of beans to study English. I like most about 8IELTS is host Phoebe Tran. She is so beautiful, confident and really gorgeous. I recommend you to watch 8IELTS because this show will give you some advices and tips to study English in the future. You will hear some advice from IELTS experts. I hope that you will have the same feeling as mine while watching 8IELTS. Thank you for paying attention to my speech and break a leg. I'm going to tell you stories of myself about communicating in a foreign language still now. I feel pretty ashamed whenever mentioning it. That's supposed to be my wonderful day. Because my dream comes true. I went to the UK to study. I just wanted to test my English speaking skill in the country where the language was born. So I stepped into a grocery store, I walked around. I just wanted to buy something. I found a magazine which looked really attractive. I just wanted to ask how much it was, but the thing happened when my eyes crashed with the cashier. I was frozen. All the words that I prepared in my head just disappeared. I told myself to blink away and then I just do it once more time. I did, but sadly I couldn't make it. I was frozen again. At that time, I was really disappointed at myself. It was really shameful, because I studied all the way to come to the UK. I had been upset for about 1 week before I had decided to move forward. I had to move on. That kind of accident was one of my many reasons that I take as my motivation to improve English. You should understand that money and political power can never go hand in hand. Once you are in politics, don't ever think about money anymore. Once you are running a business, don't ever think of being involved in politics. I find that when a person makes a mistake or fails, if he or she always complains or blames others, that person will never come back from the failure. But if the person checks inside, this person has hope. Help young people, help small guys. Because small guys will be big. Young people will have the seeds you bury in their mind. And when they grow up, they will change the world. In this world, if you want to win in the 21st century, you have to be making sure that making other people become powerful, empower others. Making sure the other people are better than you are. Then you will be successful. I believe in 2 principles. Your attitude is more important than your capabilities. Your decision is more important than your capabilities. The most unreliable thing in this world is human relationship. The business schools teach a lot of skills about how to make money and how to run a business. But I want to tell people that if you want to run a business, you have to run the value first, to serve the others, to help the others. That is the key. Today, making money is very simple. But making sustainable money, while being responsible to the society and improving the world is very difficult. Today, if you want to be a great company, think about what social problem you could solve. Never compete on prices. Instead, compete on services and innovation. The very important thing that you must have is patience. We have over 100 million buyers visiting our site daily. And we created 40 million jobs for China direct and indirect. We grow from 18 people to 3,000 people. We had 18 people in my apartment and now we have 4 big companies. 15 years ago we were big, but 15 years later we are still a baby. Years ago people said Alibaba's model is terrible. It doesn't make money. Amazon is better. eBay is better. Google is better. There is no model like Alibaba in the USA. I told people that we were better than people thought. Today, being so big, I said no, we are not as good as people thought. We are just a company 15 years old. We are doing something that human beings have never tried. When I was 12 years old, I suddenly fell in love with English languages. And there was no place you could learn English at that time. There were no English books. I went to the Hangzhou Hotel, which received the foreign visitors every morning for 9 years. I showed them around as a free guide and they taught me English. These Western tourists opened my mind. Because everything they told me was so different from the things that I learned from school and from parents. Internet is global. We should have a global name and an interesting name. At that time the best name was Yahoo. I had been thinking for many days and suddenly I decided that Alibaba is a good name. I went down the street and asked 20 people. They all know about Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. I think the relationship with the government is very interesting. I had been working at a part-time job for the government. I learned that you should never rely on a government organization to do e-commerce. I started the business. I told my people, be in love with the government but don't marry them. In the first 12 years I would sit down with anybody who came to my office and talk to them about how we can help the economy, how we can create jobs, and why China will improve via the Internet. At that time, the Internet was new to any government. If you can convince somebody, you have a chance. When government says, Jack, can you do this project? I say no, I can introduce some friends who are interested in doing that for you. Many people said this Jack is crazy. He's doing something that we don't understand. I think crazy is good. We are crazy, but we are not stupid. We know what we are doing. If everybody agreed with me and everybody believed my idea is good, then we have no chance. When I was young, I said everything is possible. Now I know not everything is possible. You have to think about something. You have to consider the customers, society, your employees, your shareholders. There are so many things. If you continue to work hard, there is a possibility. I just feel that I'm enthusiastic about what we are doing. At the beginning, for the first 5 years, I just wanted to survive. I remember the day I started Alibaba. We have a mission. We wanted to make things easier for small business. 15 years ago I told my people in my apartment, guys, we have to work hard, not for ourselves. If we can be successful, 80% of the young people in China can be successful. We don't have a rich father or a powerful uncle. We don't have $1 from the bank. I worry about young people. Many young people lose hope, lose vision, and start to complain. Many years ago I wanted to change the world. Now I think that if we want to change the world, we have to change ourselves. Changing ourselves is more important and easier than changing the world. I want to improve the world. Changing the world may be Obama's job. My job is to make sure that my team are happy. If my teams are happy, they make my customer happy. My customers are all small business. When they are happy, we are happy. I believe that when you have $1 million, that's your money. When you have $20 million, you start having problems. You worry about inflation and what stock to buy. When you have $1 billion, that's not your money. That's the trust society gives to you. They believe you can manage the money and use the money better than the government could. I think China slowing down is much better than keeping at 9%. China today is the second largest economy in the world. If China still keeps 9% of the growth, there must be something wrong. You would never see the blue sky. Don't worry, any mistake as a income is a wonderful revenue for you. I told myself and told my young people. Before 25 years old, be a good student. Before 30 years old, follow somebody. Go to a small company. When you go to a small company, you learn the passion, you learn the dreams. You learn to do a lot of things at one time. From 30 to 40 years old, you need to think very clearly whether you work for yourself. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, when you are 40 to 50 years old, you must do all the things that you are good at. Don't jump into a new area, it's too late. You may be successful, but the rate of dying is too big. When you are 50 to 60 years old, work for young people. Because young people can do better than you. Rely on them, invest in them, and make sure they are good. When you are over 60 years old, spend time for yourself. This is my advice for young people. When I interviewing all these successful people, they kept telling me how hard they worked. Why don't they tell me the real secret to their success? And finally I realize hard work is a real secret to their success. All successful people work very hard. Trust me, I have interviewed over 500 successful people. Not one of them said it come easy. Even though they were doing what they loved. We tend to underestimate work and overestimate talent. But in the end, work tops talent. Many talented people don't achieve as much success as they could. Because they sit back on their talent and never learned to work hard. So the real gift is not talent. It's the ability to work hard. So the bottom line is, whether you are smart or not, whether you are talent or not, just keep working. If you are a C student, not an A student, you can still succeed. Because the word success has two C and no A. You can still succeed. As long as you work hard. You can have, do or be anything you want. Wherever you are, London, New York, China or Vietnam. We are all working with one power, one law. It's attraction. Now you are learning the secret, and with this knowledge you can change everything. If you can think about what you want in your mind and make that your dominant thought, you will bring it into your life. If you want to change anything in your life, change the channel and change the frequency by changing your thoughts. See yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. It works every time with every person. Whether we realize it or not, we are thinking most of the time. If you are speaking or listening to someone, you are thinking. If you are reading the newspaper or watching television, you are thinking. When you recall memorizes from your past, you are thinking. When you are considering something in your future, you are thinking. The world has a new mania, a mania for learning English. How many people are trying to learning English worldwide? 2 billion of them in Latin America, in India, in Southeast Asia and most of all in China. If you are a Chinese student, you start learning English in the 3rd grade by law. That's why this year China will become the world's largest English-speaking country. Why English? In a single word: opportunity. Opportunity for a better life. A job to be able to pay for school or put better food on the table. English is the world's 2nd language. Your native language is your life. But with English you can become part of a wider conversation. A global conversation about global problems. Like climate change or poverty or hunger or disease. English is becoming the language of problem solving. English represents hope for a better future. A future where the world has a common language to solve its common problems. Shadowing is saying what you hear as soon as you hear it. Your first sound will be a mistake. It almost always is. Just relax and let it happen. Shadowing is listening without reading and repeating it immediately. Go ahead and make mistakes. Say the wrong thing. It's okay because it is practice. Your English will improve much faster if you think about sounds. Shadowing is saying what you hear without knowing it before. You will shadow English that you don't know or don't understand. You don't need to read it ahead of time. Think about the meaning and memorize it. Your English will be much better than a person who doesn't shadow. If you do shadowing practice and continue to study. Shadowing is trying to make clear speaking sounds. You must try to make clear sounds when you shadow. Even if you think those sounds are strange or incorrect.